how do people start dating better?
Yeah, that's a great question. This is something that I believe is plaguing the thoughts of a lot of people that I know and love really well. Is it even going to happen? You know, I can say that it is a challenge for a lot of people that I have a lot of sympathy towards, and just recognizing that it's a strange world out there to be putting yourself out there and dating. Where do you even go? I walk into a bar full of people that I don't know, and I start striking up conversations with people that I think are interesting. I don't know, what, a coffee shop or a nurture. I mean, maybe you come into here and you're striking up conversations. Why not? But even then, I don't think historically, I don't think environments has been the issue for people getting together or not getting together. I don't think it's been culture. I think one huge aspect of it is, you mentioned it, but confidence in putting yourself out there, and vulnerability in putting yourself out there with people, and being willing to take a chance that if this goes well, great, and if not, I'm still going to be okay. I see a lot of people unwilling to even take a chance to go on dates these days. And I don't know, maybe it's a generational thing, but people didn't hesitate, I feel like, when I was growing up, to date different people, to try different dates, to put yourself out there and to take.
Yeah, but that's because you're almost 40. Just kidding.
I'm not going to lie. That was a long time ago. I don't see a lot of people doing that now.
Right.
Even with the apps,
sure.
I still don't see a lot of people putting themselves out there, taking a chance on people. And so why is that?
Well, I think it's because we're not honestly, I think we're not being as honest as we could be or should be on those apps. I'm not an app hater at all.
Of course not.
I just don't think we're telling enough truth on those platforms.
I agree.
I think we're trying to be somebody that we think we have to be to get the person that we feel like we want to get to come into our life. But if you really knew that person and those types of people, you would realize that what they're looking for is actually the person that you need to marry is looking for you, not who you fake to be.
I agree.
Okay. I'm talking to you right now about a few hot takes on how to actually go on a date better. Because we could go in a bunch of different directions with this thought.
Oh, I love this. I
so,
already know what I'm going to say.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Let me say one more thing before you go
Very
off.
passionate about. I've talked to a lot of people about this.
Same.
Very passionate.
Same. All right. Let me say this. I just want to encourage. This is an encouraging statement. You want a job. Let's say you want a job that pays you $100,000 a year, 6-figure job to 7-figure job. You'd be okay with something like that, probably. Okay. I think a lot of people are looking for something like that. You're working really hard to get there. And you're having a lot of jobs to maybe even get there one day. You're taking years of classes. You're working on a skill set. You're doing an incredible job of investing in yourself to one day, hopefully, get that job so that you could save up enough money to retire the way that you want to retire and to go on the trips you want to go on, to live without debt, to have the house, to have the family. Okay. Well, what makes you think that finding somebody to build a family with, to spend the rest of your life with, to stay together forever is any less important or should take less time or less skill set than a job? Okay. We just talked about work-life balance. Okay. So we spend this much time on work. Well, what makes you think that you're balancing your life if you're spending that much time on work and this little time on life? Stop expecting it to be easier than you think it should.
Yep.
That's actually a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
So it's going to take more than I think it is. Well, yeah, because you want to stay with the person.
Stop saying you want it to just be organic.
Yeah. Why don't you be more intentional? Why don't you, or organic things happen in the forest. Well, there's no farmer there. You know? But you don't just go around the forest eating all of the fruit in the forest.
Yeah.
Maybe poisonous.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like
organic is an act of God.
So let's
you looking to go face to face with your wife, like bumping each other serendipity style. I'm just saying.
No. But like that's cool too, though.
I mean, that'd be awesome. Yeah, great.
But serendipitous things happens when someone has the skill sets to see it.
I agree.
And someone to appreciate the serendipitous opportunity
Agreed.
for what it actually is.
Yeah.
Oh, I see this person for who they are. Oh, this person is of value. Oh, I know how to treat this person. I know how to communicate to this person.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to dating, so we could talk about that for a long time. Will you elaborate on dating? Because I really want people to find someone to go through life with.
Yeah.
And I think dating is really, really important. What are your thoughts on how do I date better?
I would say I want to speak to the men and the women. I would say for the men, and I would love your thoughts on this as well. I would say for the men, you need to get the courage to actually ask a woman on a date. Maybe you haven't had anyone that has exemplified that for you. Maybe you haven't seen that before. But you need to just build up the courage, if there's somebody you're interested in, to walk up to them and say, I would like to take you out for dinner.
I think men need more no's. You need to get a body of work where you've been told no enough to where it stops bothering you.
I agree.
And be okay with a no. A no is great. You know why? Because you know where they stand. And you don't waste your time trying to build the no to a yes. Well, guess what? You don't need to date the person that says no because they're not ready to go on a date with you.
Yeah,
It's not that big of a deal. Guess what? You hear someone tell you no, great, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
No worries. Like no's are fine.
Yeah,
No's also, can I tell you this? No's aren't final either, by the way.
Those aren't final.
No's aren't final either. They just may not be in a space where they're ready to go on a date with you.
Come on.
Because there's too much stress in their life. Why don't we view this more positively?
Hey, just because it's a denial now doesn't mean it could be delayed.
They don't know who you're going to become.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a matter of time.
Growing.
It's just a matter of time.
And you're persistent.
Yeah.
Come on.
So don't stress about a no.
Yeah.
A no is just a start.
Yeah, knows the start.
And guess what? When they see you date someone else, it's like, oh man, maybe that person would be nice to go on a date with.
Whatever happened to like the forecasting vision of this no is going to be a part of our story we're going to tell our kids one day.
Oh yeah, not a
Come
big
on.
deal. If it is,
Catch a
great.
vision already.
That's funny. If it's not, no big deal.
But if it's not, you're okay too. You'll live.
No
You'll
big
both
deal.
live. They'll live. You'll live. Life goes on.
And it actually helps us in so many other areas of our lives.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's like, and so just even in work or anything. So okay, great. So let's work up the
To
courage.
Work up the courage.
Guys,
to ask.
keep
to
going.
the girls, be willing to say yes and give these guys a chance. So a lot of women in our community are waiting for a guy that currently doesn't exist. I've never met that guy. That guy, this very specific dude, and I would just encourage single females to be available to say yes and give guys a chance when asked as well. I mean, obviously there's more practicality as far as like putting yourself in environments as well where there are other single people that have shared values. If you're, Denver, shout out, the Brook. But I'm just saying there's shared places where people have shared values you can put yourself in and give guys a chance. And if it doesn't go well, hey, this is a no for me. But why not at least give it enough of a chance to discover if it's a no or not? 1 or 2 dates. That's what I try to tell everybody. Get 1 or 2 dates in, and if after that, guy or girl, it's a no, that's great. Now you learned what you're maybe not interested in, or maybe you were like, actually liked them more than I thought, but maybe it's a no for now. Yeah. There's a few things I want them to work on.
Did you know that humans are a terrible judge of character?
Yeah, I mean,
Like terrible. You look at somebody, you think that they're this way, and they're not that way at all.
100%.
They're not that way at all.
So you sit down with them, yeah.
They're a terrible judge of character. Malcolm Gladwell came out with his book called Talking to Strangers. And he goes into depth on this idea of like, we are historically, phenomenally poor judges of character and type. And what this person looks like isn't who they are at all.
Yeah.
So like, I love that idea of like giving somebody a chance. Why? Also, because if you don't go on a date, then you may never get another one. And also, if you don't go on a few, you may not learn who you need to be on one.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's important for us to do this. And I think also, good luck finding a best friend that becomes a lifelong friend that you build a family with if you don't learn how to be a friend on the front end. Mm-hmm. Just be the friend.
Yeah.
It's okay to go on a date with a friend, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what? If you are a friend and a best friend of the opposite sex, guess what? If you don't go on a date with them now, guess what? They're probably not going to be in the future once they have a new best friend that they call their wife or their husband. You're not going to be in their life. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so
Agreed.
you should probably think that
with
through.
That statement.
Like, let's look at the outcomes that are probably going to happen. Like you're not going to be that close with him forever.
No.
If you're not willing to go on a date with him now.
Yeah.
And see where this could lead.
Yeah. Fast forward.
And so I just think that's really, really important for us. Let's not be naive about this.
I agree. And I just want to make this practical.
Please.
Guys.
What are the 3 best things for someone to do on a date? Go there. 3 best things.
Okay. Be
practical. 3 best things that you're seeing hot take-wise are really important for us to do on dates.
This is, I've taught this for years. This is something I'm not new to this. This is something I'm coaching young men.
You're coaching it, but you're a practitioner.
I do this myself. I did it this last week with my wife, but I'm coaching men in, first of all, on the date, first date even, show a little of your emotional side. Talking to the men here. But it applies to the females as well. Show a little of your emotional side. You're a real person. And this is something that I'm feeling right now. This is I'm excited about this. Hopes and dreams. Go there. So show your emotional side. The next is think of some adventurous thing that you can incorporate into the date night. Doesn't have to be crazy, but some adventurous thing where you're creating a moment enough that you would laugh about it later. Could be something as simple as hopping on scooters riding through town. You know in advance that's going to happen, but I'm going to walk by those scooters and I'm going to mention, hey, you want to ride through town for just a little bit on these scooters? You want to go to this place? You want to go by a creek? Something. So show your emotional side, have some level of adventure, forecast a future for your life. Sow a seed. Doesn't have to be like, I want to start a family with you. That's weird. Don't be weird. But make it simple in the sense that, what's the vision for your life? You ask them and then you say, I have a vision that I really want to see this happen in my future. That's going to let that person know, okay, do I see myself in that vision? But if you're really good, you got to sell what that vision looks like. And don't put them in the vision, but allow just enough opportunity there for them to say, I kind of want to be in that vision. And then the last and fourth one is the most important. But you got to go at who you are spiritually and what matters most to you. And if there's not that connection there, then you already know for both parties, okay, I mentioned how like God is first in my life. That person didn't reciprocate at all. We're probably not going to continue this past this date. Yeah. Or if there's a reciprocation that says, oh, that's great. I was just reading in the Word this morning and this is what happened. You're like, okay, we're having fun. We're getting serious, but we're having fun. I'm starting to see that there's some things that we align with in the future. And then also there's some things foundationally that we agree on. So those are the things. Emotional, adventure. Then you got to have some, Is this good? Are you feeling this? Is this an alignment?
No,
you got to cast some
good.
future.
You're good. Yeah.
And then you got to have some foundation for the future. Is this, what do you say to
No,
this?
no, this is
I
fine.
do this still with my wife. I practice this still with my wife.
Yeah, I would say.
I'm telling, even for the future, I'm like, baby, can you see us on the beach in a house? Come on. Like, are you seeing the San Clemente, here we come? Like, what year do you want to do that in the future?
Yeah.
When we're 45, 50?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Okay.
You're a great dater. I want to hear you. You're good at this.
Oh, man. It's not because, I think it's not because we are dating a lot of people, but obviously we're trying to stay dating our wives.
100%.
Right? That's the point.
Just
and
as
so, like,
intentional
I
as
think
when
you
you
got to keep.
started.
I think you got to keep exactly. And so you got to keep that. That's why you got to stay fresh.
Yeah.
So here's a few distractions, and here's how I would couch it. And I would say I'd like to. I'll give you four of mine.
Okay.
So 4 things of mine,
Come
as
on.
well as like.
Where's my phone? I feel like I'm about to take notes.
I'll give you 4 of mine, and some of them line up with yours. I would just say them differently. So, like, I think we're speaking together in this.
Yes,
okay.
we are. Yeah.
First, prepare.
Prepare. Come on. Okay.
I think if you care, you will prepare.
Ooh,
And
come
so,
on.
if you care, you'll prepare for
That's good.
everything in life. So, if you want to be attracted to the person that you're about to go on a date with, are you attractive? Are you doing the simple things that are physically healthy for you to do? Haircut, shower, shave, sleep, and then I'm going to add another one that most people aren't thinking about. Stop getting dopamine kicks. So I would say spend time off of devices before you go on a date. Because if you're looking for a emotional connection, you need to stop feeding your dopamine addiction. Because
I agree.
what really needs to happen is you need to be alive on the date. You need to be awake and present. You need to put your phone on airplane mode. You need to not look at your phone on it. But we need to prepare ourselves for it. So that one of the ways we prepare ourselves for it is starve ourselves of it. And you need to stop letting that thing be
I love that.
the relationship that you have with someone. Because we have relationships with our devices.
I agree.
And we need to, if we want a romantic relationship, and if we want a relationship that actually we're investing in, we need to stop investing in the thing that's trying to steal our attention, right?
Yeah. I agree.
If we want to give attention, we only have so much. We need to stop giving it to the things that aren't going to give it back to us.
I agree.
But they're trying to take it from us. Okay, prepare.
Wow.
Simple things.
Jeez.
But let's prepare. If you'll prepare if you care. Which also, we need to look at, like, if someone's prepared, then they do care. So see that as well. That's important on the date. So you're on the date. Or you're
That's
thinking.
why I mentioned the scooter in
Yeah.
advance.
Yeah.
You're thinking of this.
No, we're thinking similarly. That's what I'm saying. I would just talk about it just
I love
a
that.
little bit differently.
Prepare.
I call this next one, I call this what type of date do you want to go on? Is it a date worth forgetting, or is it a date worth remembering? Well, you will remember something that you have emotionally connected on. For example, are you more likely to remember a date that is on a stone bridge or a rickety bridge?
Stone bridge, unless the bridge falls in and you both go in the water, then that could be memorable too.
So stone bridges are not very memorable because there's no emotion attached to it. A rickety bridge, you are a little bit afraid, you're a little unsure, you're a little excited. I don't know what's about to happen here. So having a date that is worth remembering doesn't have to cost a lot.
Yeah.
But both of you maybe have an emotional connection
If
over
they're
something.
asking themselves the question, I think, are we going to die in this experience? That is very memorable.
That
I
is
think
very
that's fantastic.
That's very memorable. But we also don't want to scare somebody, and we don't want to put somebody in life or death situations.
But, yeah,
it's
I
okay to
agree.
take someone on a rickety bridge that other people have used. It's more of a
I like
metaphor, not
like it,
actually
though.
taking people on the thing.
Go
no.
find a rickety bridge.
No, do something maybe that's going to cause you to have a little bit of an excitement
I
or
agree.
fun
I love that.
or joy or just be worth remembering.
Yes.
It could be a sunset that's like, whoa, that's powerful. It could be an overlook that's cool. I'm
Yes.
out on like a lookout type of mountain, or it could be I've done this before. I know the manager of this hotel. He's going to let me have the rooftop view of this sunset. What if I orchestrated? Like, just be intentional and like do some fun things. So it's the rickety bridge concept, which goes to like doing something that's memorable. Third thing I would say is just because you're putting a lot of work in your work doesn't mean you need to come with a resume to the rest of your life.
Ooh, I love that.
So stop like treating dates as resumes.
You're preaching.
Like, who cares
Yeah.
of all the stuff? This isn't a resume.
No.
This is a friendship.
Yeah.
This
great.
is like
It's not a job interview.
they must be able to see themselves as friends with you, even though you get put in the friend zone all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that.
No.
Okay, they're saying that because they don't want a relationship with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to It's an easy, like, just see it for what it is. It's okay. They just want you to be around their life. They don't want you necessarily in their life fully.
Yeah.
For the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's okay. So like, see it for what it actually is. And so stop treating dates as resumes.
Yeah, it's great.
That's not what it is. And so in the preparation, we can actually think through and we can actually have an experience. And you can make an emotional connection without saying very much.
True.
You can.
Yeah, I agree.
You can have an emotional connection without saying much at all.
Yeah, I agree.
An experience, something interesting. And then the fourth thing that I would say that goes with your like vision is know the direction you're trying to go with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah, that's
friendships and relationships, all of them are built all of them that last are built off of a direction that you guys are going,
great. Agreed.
not really based off of where you've been, but even though where you've been does set up for where you're trying to go. But vision and direction is what inspires us to say, I'd love to see. I'd love to talk more about this. Mm-hmm. I have more questions about why you're trying to go there or what you're seeing or what you're trying to do to get there. I'd like to be on that journey with you. So direction actually helps because it's like, oh man, I'd actually like to go there too. Maybe we should be friends.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go on another date.
Yes.
Maybe we should talk more about this. Maybe I can they envision themselves joining you on that journey? And do you have a journey worth them joining?
That's a huge question.
Those are the four things that I would say. If you can keep having amazing dates. I can keep having an amazing date with my wife. You can keep having an amazing date with your wife. If we just simply keep doing this over and over and over again, and we can keep outdoing ourselves just a little bit more and more, not because we spend more money.
Yeah, it's not about that.
But because we see them more purely and we allow them to see us more purely and authentically.
I love
So yeah,
that.
man.
Just for your fans.
Just the people on the journey with us.
Just for the people on the journey with us.
People on the journey with us.
People on the journey with us. Very practically, my first date, I asked Jess. I knew she was training for a marathon. So I said, hey, you want to go on a run with me? Adventure.
You opted in for something that she was doing.
I opted in for what she was a part of.
Which is really,
Yes.
that's a huge thing because she had a direction and a goal that she was trying to accomplish. You came in alongside something she was already doing. Yes.
I want to go on a training with you. And I said, I want to hear more about why you're going on this run and the vision that you have for it. Because she was raising money for a nonprofit. So I was interested in her. I joined her, what she was doing. It was an adventure. On that, I just said, how's it going in your life? How you feeling? Shared that while we were running. And then I said, what's your plans for the future? I asked her, then she asked me, shared the plans for the future. This is all the first date. I told her about my plans for ministry, talked about some spiritual stuff. Both of us would say, even after, it's just the first date, but like you can cover a lot of ground in that intentionally. Both of us would say we had a hunch that we could potentially see ourselves together one day.
And then 3 days later, they were married.
And then, it moved fast. But I'm just saying, it's not. That's not always the case. But
No,
I am
it's
saying,
not. Oh my
I've been
gosh.
on a lot of dates where that wasn't the case. I'm just
Sure.
sharing that,
Sure.
like my wife. But it costed me no money.
No.
I love that you pointed that out. That like the person that I'm married to today, our first date costed me $0, and even like the second date was $0. Like, don't let even like a big moment or an expensive dinner or something like that prevent you from doing something significant with somebody where you call it a day.
Sometimes it ruins it actually because then you're putting a lot of pressure on it to be the thing that you spent
Yeah.
the money for. And it's
Agreed.
like, look, chill out on that.
I agree with that.
That's actually not the most important thing.